Russell from mining.com.au, and joining me today is Pat Williams, the Managing Director for Revolver Resources. Pat, I see you're in the high vis. Where are you, mate?
Shay, I'm up on site at the Dianne Project. We've initiated a drill program as one of those additional continuing purposeful steps towards production. So underway here, and the rods are spinning.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. Now, there is a diamond drilling program underway, but most people associate that with explorers. How does this diamond program get you closer to being a producer?
Look, Shay, the steps leading up to production need a lot more granularity and precision in the data that's going to feed the mining process day in, day out, week in, week out. So the holes we're drilling have multiple purposes. Obviously we know there's ore there. It's kind of nice seeing mineralized core coming out in every hole. But the multiple purposes for this drill program include infill drilling. So we have a number of drill holes already, but where there's a hole, where there's another hole, we're drilling in between to just make sure we've got the fine-grained, precision about the block model for mining. We're also looking at some resource extension, some extra tons that we can capture. Geotech, we're digging an open pit in the ground that has steep walls, and we need to have very careful, measured, site-specific data so that we can have a safe slope angle. So we've got geotech information coming out of this program. And in addition, we're also gathering some more information. As a part of the open pit, a lot of the materials reporting to the crusher to go to the leach pad as ore, but we will have some waste material, and the contemporary standards of environmental stewardship these days need us to make sure the waste dumps that will be permanent legacies in the future are safe. They've got benign material. So as counterintuitive as that is, we're going to be sending some additional samples of rock, not ore, to the lab so that we can get the geochemistry and the test work on the waste rock so that we can build our waste dumps in a very environmentally responsible and long-term stable way. So lots of reasons for the drill program, and it's exciting. As we start to fill in those gaps, we really start to illuminate the reality. I'm as happy as a dog with two dicks, Shay, because we are going to be making copper in the very, very near future.
Oh, Patrick, I thoroughly enjoy talking to you. Now, you've mentioned a couple of great things in there. First of all, I love it when miners are putting the environment forefront of best mining practices, and it's great that shareholders can hear your thoughts on that. But I want to know, when the rocks are meeting the road, like you're talking about being a near-term producer, when is that?
Well, Shay, we've spent the best part of the last 18 months carefully working away, some work on site, a lot of work off site, planning, designing, understanding how we can fit a small scale operation on the deposit, operate it, at a low cost, to make a very good commercial outcome. So the culmination of that work sits us here today. Where are we? Late June. All being well, we'll be moving rocks at the end of this year, building leach pads, and internally we have an aggressive timetable estimate of Q1 next year, but safely sometime in the first half next year, so less than 12 months away, we'll be sending sheets of copper cathode down the road to market.
That's very cool, because we keep hearing about this looming copper supply shortage, and you are going to come online very, very soon. So I guess the question I want to ask now is, what's next? Obviously you're moving to production, you're moving rocks by the end of the year. What else can investors look forward to hearing in the short term?
Look, the elephant in the room, Shay, that a lot of people want to know about is how you're going to pay for this. Um, you know, share prices in the toilet. We're not happy about that, but really, it's a part of the macro scene at the moment. Um, what we've been very careful to do to date, funding what we've done, and continuing to fund this project, we're pursuing very shareholder friendly, non dilutive funding mechanisms. So we are at quite advanced stages with the project funding package. It's kind of small. Once we get that announced, people will be somewhat surprised at the very compact nature. We've been saying all through our releases, this is a capital light project. It's kind of, it's not a lot of money. Um, so that's an exciting, near term milestone for us. I'll be very happy to share some details around that when it gets sorted, because it fires the gun for a lot of very quick time work. Like I said, we're sitting here now. Between now and the end of the year, we really aspire to be moving rocks. That's kind of 6 months' time. So for people to bring a mine online from a standing start in 6 months, we'll be going pretty fast. But it's exciting, Shay, and that momentum, the team we have, and we've been able to keep on board are extraordinary. And there's some updates on that I'd certainly like to share with you about how we're approaching the project in a very, again, commercially astute and very, very sensible way. So, look, there's a lot of news coming, Shay, and this is the start of it. And it's all about production of copper at Dianne.
Listen, it sounds like there is a lot of good news to come as you get closer to moving those rocks. Patrick, I probably should let you get back out on site. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Shay. Talk to you again soon.